When a bill enters the legislative process, one of the first decisions that must be made is which committee will handle it. This choice is critical as it can determine whether or not the bill has a chance to make it to the chamber floor. But what are legislative committees, and how do they function in Washington State? A committee is a portion of the legislative body charged with examining matters specifically referred to it. Because committees have relatively few members, they can study bills far more closely than the full chamber. Standing committees last the entire two-year legislature. They are divided by subject matter, such as education, the environment, law and justice, and many others. There are two types of standing committees: policy committees and fiscal committees. Policy committees examine the legal merits of proposed legislation. Fiscal committees consider the financial impact of bills on the overall state budget.
The motion's before us. Any discussions?
If that impact is above $50,000, the bill must pass through both a fiscal and a policy committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The Senate has two fiscal committees, while the House has four.
This is a 4-4 bipartisan committee.
Besides standing committees, legislators can create other types of committees when needed. Committees operate year-round, even when the legislature is not in session. They usually meet in the hearing rooms in the Scherberg and O'Brien buildings on the Capitol campus in Olympia. Committee chairs are chosen by the majority party leadership in both chambers. A committee chair presides over a committee. The chair can have a powerful influence over the legislative agenda by deciding whether or not to schedule a hearing or a vote for a bill. Committee membership is also determined by the majority party leadership in both chambers. Committees have nonpartisan staff, including lawyers and analysts, who provide legislators with specialized knowledge about the topics they are studying. There are three types of legislative committee meetings: work sessions, public hearings, and executive sessions. During work sessions, legislators learn about a subject and review background material. During public hearings, legislators hear testimony from directly interested parties and ask questions. And during executive sessions, legislators decide if and how they will report a bill out of committee. The committee may vote to send out a bill as is. They may offer amendments or changes to the bill.
I move that the amendment be rolled into Substitute Senate Bill 5717 and that Substitute Senate Bill 5717 receive a due pass recommendation.
They may replace the bill entirely with a substitute bill, or they may choose not to pass the bill. Arguably, the most powerful committee in the legislature is the Rules Committee. This is where the majority party leadership exercises the most control over the legislative process. Usually far more bills end up in rules than can be handled by the full chamber. This is why Rules is often called the gatekeeper. Members of the Rules Committee decide which bills will make it to the chamber floor and which ones won't. If a bill doesn't make it out of committee, it is said to die in that committee. A bill isn't truly dead, though, until the end of a two-year legislature. Before that time, it may be pulled out of committee by a majority vote of the full chamber.
Let's go to the ninth order. Let's debate them. Let's vote. Let's have democracy on the floor of the Senate.
Why do bills die in committee? There are several reasons. A committee may not have enough time to handle all the bills assigned to it. A committee chair may refuse to schedule a hearing or a vote on a bill. Or if the bill fails to get a majority of votes needed to pass it out. Legislative committees play a powerful role in the legislative process. Understanding how they function is crucial to the understanding of how a bill becomes a law in Washington State.